Hello everyone and welcome to the fifth part tutorial of how to model the spacecraft hangar. Now before I will continue, I want to make sure something is doing correctly. It appears that we do have some issues with some of our surfaces on this wall. And you can see this by seeing those areas, the black areas. Most of them it's not because of shadows, it's just because of manipulating the faces here, and it happens a lot, and probably the cause for it's because of overlapping faces. You can see overlapping faces like here, you see. I'm catching this, and still yet those two faces have been selected. That means that I can delete this one somehow and then maybe fix this edge by extruding it and moving it over there. Okay, but still yet I will get this open area right here, which I don't really need right now. But apparently there are lots of stuff, lots of faces you can find that way and start manipulate them and fix and patch them. And I'm trying to encourage you, yes, to do this because it's very important. Later on the process, you may want to add texture, and it can affect your texture materials or shaders. So the basic, you can really fix these issues. Very simple, but I will show you in a second. I just finished to patch this area. Mesh fill all. Okay, I will try maybe. Seems that there are few parts here that are not connected, and I need to connect them somehow. Okay, you know what? Let me leave this for a second. I will undo whatever I did, bring this wall back, and what we will do in order to fix this at once is actually hold down the shift. Okay, hold down the shift, right click on top of the wall, choose soften / harden edge, okay, and choose harden edge. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to here, over this stage, what's happening here. Okay, and tap F8 once or twice, and you can see it's somehow been fixed. Okay, so there's no reason why some other areas will look right now from now on black areas. Okay, and that's one way to deal with it. If you just want to take first renders that will look good. By the way, I promised to fix this area here, so what I will do, I will simply delete this and apparently we should also just delete all the rest, because these faces, the upper faces at least, are not really, we don't really have use for them. If later on you will want to add an actual room for these slabs, so you can always grab part of this wall and start modify it so it will look like a room. Right now we have no use for it. Okay, so I'm deleting those faces, and maybe after that I can address some of the issues that's causing these problems here. Now also do not want to get rid of these because these are actually connected. Okay, delete them, and yeah, maybe I do want to delete them. they shouldn't be connected. This is the back wall, and it's just here. You can get rid of it. Okay, so we'll try to do this. Just picking those and delete, and that way we can know for sure that this is the front, like the front faces that we stretched back. Okay, now here the same idea, except those two in the middle. You can get rid of those, these, this, and this one. Okay, and delete them. Apparently not. I'm somehow also taking those with me. Oh, this is actually open already. Okay, alright. We already opened this area. Okay, so what's next? Next, I want you to first do some arrangement here. I want you to grab all the panels, all those net panels, catch them, also these and these, and take them to a separated layer. So create a layer, call this net panels. Okay, give it some color, save, and let's hide them because right now we don't need them in the scene. And also these two, you can create a new layer for them, and we shall call it supporting walls. Yeah, I just don't know what the words for it right now, so I'm trying to make my life easy and call these supporting walls. Also, we can hide those, and that way we get more organized scene. And what shall we do right now? Okay, so I want to create some steels profile as I did in my scene, and that should be very easy. You create a cube, okay, just a simple cube, right click, choose face, choose this face, and extrude them just a little bit that way. Okay, and then what you do is you catch these faces, okay, and you extrude them like so. Okay, now that can be a little bit thick, okay, much, so my neighbors are shouting, and these okay, oh sorry, we will use the scale tool in order to make them like so, and just stretch them to about so. Okay, now place them above here, and then I want you to create another cube. Okay, create another cube and place it above, just in the middle here of this steel panel profile. Okay, and then scale it to about so and squeeze it like that. So this steel profile should stay like that. Should, like, you know, somehow you need to put this hang this profile to the wall or something. So we are doing that this panel here just so it looks reliable. Okay, so we have these, and then you can simply copy it and move it maybe over here one, and duplicate it and move this one over here. Okay, now I also want to create another thing, but first let's grab 3 of them except the walls. Okay, 3 of them like that, and assign them to a new layer. So we will call this layer steel profile. Okay, profiles, and save. Now there is something else I want to create. It's it's called guarantee. I'm not sure. Guarantee hangover profiles. It's create one polycylinder and minimize this. Okay, and okay, so I have a freaking neighbors, and they are all day shouting and stuff like this, and I'm really sorry if it was interrupted you, but let's try to continue. It seems that they are began to be quiet, at least for now. Okay, so we taking this cylinder, and this will be an actual pipe. Okay, and you want to make sure you make it long enough, so stretch it like so, and then grab it and first rotate it like this. Okay, they've begun to do some more noise. It's fucking stupid neighbors. Okay, like this. I think we should do this a little bit more like this, and much more longer, even much more longer than the rest of those 3 steel profiles, because not because, maybe leave it, you know what, something like that, it's okay, just a cylinder that way. And what you want to do is maybe make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so I'm using the middle cube to enlarge it, but at the same time I will stretch it back to something like this. Okay. Now what you want to do is first Control D, okay, to duplicate it and put it that way, okay, just above it. And then you want to create another polycylinder, and it will be here. Okay, now let's scale it like so, just like so, and let's bring it over here and stretch it so those two be connected some way. Okay, now make it a little bit larger and then rotate it using the J. Okay, so it will be something like 45 degrees, and if it still doesn't look that good, you can stretch them a little bit more, and at the same time maybe bring this a little bit down, so if it's equal they will look like they been weld good to this part. Okay, so after you created the first 45 angle, by the way it is 45 angle as you can see here, okay, because I'm relying on pressing the J key while I'm rotating it, so it should be somewhere here 90 degrees or 45, again 180 degrees. Okay, so 45, it's like what it's supposed to be here. Just make sure that they are inside those profiles and not picking out some way. Now after you've done so, Control D and hold down the J key and rotate it to the opposite 109 and 45 degrees. Okay, see, rotate X 45 and bring it here like so. Now grab those two and let's bring them over this side here, just like so. Okay, now we will use the Shift D in order to duplicate it, bring it over here like so, and start Shift D a couple of times so it's duplicating itself over this side here. Okay, now doesn't have to fit here, you can just grab these and right click, choose vertices, then right click on this and choose vertices, then select these vertices, shift, select these. Okay, and bring them just about over here. Tap F8 once or twice to bring it back to object mode, and the first thing you do after this is grabbing this, duplicate it. Okay, Control D, and then rotate the duplicated item back to 180, okay, or whatever. It's just scale it like so and make sure you put one here, Control D to duplicate it and move it to the other side over here like so. Okay, now grab all of them together, all these pieces like so, and we want to go over General tab and group them. Okay, so now they are grouped, and go over Modify Center Pivot, so the center is here, and now hold down, choose the Rotate tool and try to rotate it in 45 degrees, just like so, see? And then Control D and rotate it back to this 45 degrees, okay? And bring it over here. Okay, so you see we have two panels here, two profiles. We will get rid of one of them, but before that we need to see that everything is okay. So Control D to duplicate it again, bring it a little bit up and rotate it back to, sorry, my neighbors are starting to bother me here. They live like a barbarian people. They're always shouting and making noises. It's freaking. Okay, I will open the outliner because I know that these are three groups. Here they are, and that way I can still manipulate them as one piece without lose my mind. So try to do this that way, and then this one that way, and now I can somehow make them look like they are connected, okay, to each other. Okay, that way. Okay, cool. Now we need to understand which one to get rid of. So I'm trying to pull those, trying also to pull one of those, and trying to pull one of those here. So we get rid of 3, but we still need to make sure those 3 are where they're supposed to be. So try to align them so everything will look connected and not separated in some way. And when it looks fine, just grab this, delete one, delete this one, and delete this one, and now we have this magnificent overhang. Okay, now the next thing is just simply create another cube. Okay, so where is our cube? Create a cube, and I want you to scale it like so to about so, something like this, and apparently it's not middle in the center, so maybe we will catch all those groups together. And I don't want to move this, there is a pivot for it, and we need to find it, so let's use it. Okay, and let's center this thing back to the center, and then you can grab the cube and you can do something like this. Choose vertices, and with the scale tool move these vertices over here and up here. Okay, and then we will grab these 2 edges and we will bevel them. Okay, now open the box of the bevel. Okay, reset the tool and bevel it. Now after you bevel this, you will get this attribute here. You need to open the attribute editor for it. Okay, and then you can add more offset or reduce the offset, but either way make sure to make those 2 corners, beveled corners, to look at the size as same as this one at the lower part. Okay, so maybe just a little bit squeeze it, just like so, and right click, choose vertices. We will grab all those vertices here and using the move tool to lower them down here, so that way, and maybe the scale tool just a little bit. Okay, and then we can use the scale tool to make it like so. Okay, so if that looks fine with you, maybe just a little bit down, maybe not, maybe it's really depend on the bevel a little bit more, so I think that's fine, that's cool. It's not much of a detail that people will notice, so the only thing you need to be care of is that it's here, and if somewhere in the future you will need the other end, so make sure you do this. But for now, this cube together with these 3, okay, is going to be placed at the same height of this profile in between them. One here, Control D, one here, and yes, yeah, I think that's fine. 2 are enough. You can always use them, but what I will do right now is I will grab all those pieces from the outliner, and add them to a separated layer. Okay, so create new layer and Grantee, I think it's called Grantee, I'm not sure, I just checked it before I start this tutorial, and click save. Okay, now you can hide them, and the same way you can just show everything that you build until now. By the way, the floor is not smooth right now, but that looks pretty fair, pretty good. Okay, and the next part we will continue. We will do the base of this spacecraft and maybe add more details to some parts over the wall. So we shall see. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I'm really sorry I can't help it. I can do nothing about these neighbors here, and even if you are not, it's not really, you don't really hear them. It's breaking my concentration, so just bother me. Okay, so that's it for now. Hope you enjoy this one, and we'll see you soon at the next part where we will continue this. Okay, see ya.